If you were fixing your bra straps, fussing with wires, or battling your bra during this podcast, stop right now. You'll want to hear this. Those bra problems, those problems you thought you had to live with, Third Love has solved them. Their bras make it easy to get what you want, whether it's ultimate cleavage, a smooth look, or stopping your shirt buttons from pulling. With over 60 sizes, including half cups you won't find anywhere else, you'll never be stuck between two sizes that don't fit. So stop settling for bad bras. Now's the time to treat yourself and get your problem solved. Save $15 on your first order with code podcast15 at thirdlove.com.
I don't have a thought for how to start this.
Welcome to Text Me Back, the only podcast that's won every Golden Globe in the books. And now we're going to win Best Podcast.
Yeah, we've already won Best Drama, Best Musical or Comedy, obviously.
Best Man.
Yep. Leading Actress.
Yep.
It was the first ever Golden Globes tie. We won it.
We won it.
It was us.
That's Text Me Back Podcast, and I'm Lindy West.
Yes, and they call me Megan Hatcher Mays. That's what they're saying.
Best Woman.
That's what they said when they handed me the award.
You know what I hate, Megan?
Go on.
I fucking hate that thing at like the Olympics where if there's a tie for first place, there's no second place and it goes straight to third.
Madness. But yet if there's a tie for bronze, they both get a thing. Why not do 2 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze? That seems fun.
Who is policing this? Who cares? Seems like those people won.
I don't like it. Just give out 4 awards, sports awards. What's going to happen?
First of all, every trophy is a participation trophy. You know what I mean? It's like, this is a made up game that we invented. And then we were like, we invented a trophy. So there's no like scientific limit to the number of people whose extreme athletic prowess you can reward with a little necklace.
Yeah. Why not just give out 25 necklaces?
Well, that's what I would do. If I was Archibald Olympic Games.
Why is everyone so mad about participation trophies? How does that affect anyone? You know what I mean?
It's nice.
Like, how is that bad?
To be clear,
it makes a kid feel good and you don't like that?
When I said that before, I meant it, parentheses, complimentary. I think participating is important.
It's so weird that like somebody got mad about participation trophies and now Donald Trump is the president. Like, what on earth? What in the world? By the way, here's a piece of news from 11 years ago when that Mr. Rogers documentary came out, which, by the way, if you want to get casually wrecked by the open-hearted love of the most pure human man that ever lived, highly recommend the Mr. Rogers documentary. But did you know for a time in like the mid-aughts, Fox News was going after Mr. Rogers and they were like, boo, Mr. Rogers is saying all kids are special, which is bad. It's like a participation trophy, which is bad. And I was like, why is it bad? It's bad to make kids think that they're special and that life is worth living. And now Donald Trump is the president. I think we should have nipped this in the bud when we had the chance, man, because this whole business of kids should feel bad. That should have been our first red flag. That's not good.
The PR disasters that the Republican Party is able to just coast through. It's crazy. One would think that going after Fred himself would cause a dip in the ratings. You know what I mean?
You would, yeah. But it's just the people who watch it are so furious. They're like, yeah, there's something I could be mad about. Good idea. It's crazy. By the way, like somebody from the Mr. Rogers like museum or something responded to this whole kerfuffle. And they're like, all Mr. Rogers is saying is that all human life has value. And if you're saying you're against that, That's wild. And then he was like, you know who else thought all human beings' life had inherent value? Jesus Christ thought that. Is he next? Once you're done excoriating Mr. Rogers, we're chasing down Jesus? What's going on here?
Also, by the way, if you are a Republican and you are mad about like your kid not getting into college or whatever, that's a participation trophy.
Like the status quo, like the pre-affirmative action system, the status quo that persists to this day is participation trophies for white people.
Yes. Like,
so
the idea.
What? What's going on?
The group of people.
Hello?
The group of people who have most aggressively, historically rigged everything in their favor, whining and crying about participation trophies. I got some bad news for you, Jack.
Your participation trophy.
The participation trophy is coming from inside the house.
That's your name. That's what they call you, buddy boy.
I think it's better to be told that you're special.
I think it is nice for kids to feel like life is worth living. I don't know. Hot take.
And if you really do want your kids to like reach for the stars,
yeah,
maybe tell them that it's possible. I'm just saying.
Well, anyway, welcome to Text Me Back Podcast. We're today going to talk about many things, such as tidings. Also, we will be bringing back fan favorite segment, I Can Fix Her, breakfast edition. And then we have some announcements that we're going to do at the end. But first, we have a quick update from a Mormon. We talked, and I believe was it last week's show? No, 2 weeks ago, I guess. I don't remember what it was.
I think it was 2 weeks ago.
But we talked a little bit about how when the local LDS temple in my neighborhood was desanctified and they let all the heathens come in, I went with a couple of friends and met this lady in line who was very nice, but I think the three of us knew her game from the jump. She was like a PR representative in many ways. I don't think that they literally sent her out there to give us a tour. I do think it was we just coincidentally ran into each other in line and she offered and we accepted. But I think we all knew that like she saw this as an opportunity and the three of us saw it as one we were not interested in taking. But I wanted the inside juice. I wanted the gossip, so we said yes to the tour from her. And she walked us all around and she brought us into this room that I called it binding, like a binding ceremony. It's actually called sealing. It's a sealing ceremony, like SEALING, not sealing like the top of your
not like me listening to Puff the Magic Dragon and thinking that you had to put wax on your ceiling.
Sealing wax has been confusing children since 1923.
For years. I don't think I figured that out till I was in my 20s.
Yeah, me too. I think actually you probably were the one to tell me and I was like, no shit.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So they take the Mormons into the sealing room.
They take the Mormons into the sealing room.
Drip hot wax over them. They press them together.
Smash them with a big brass stamp and then they're stuck with each other for life and beyond. No, but the way she described it was like, you're not just married, you can seal yourself to your partner and then you are with them in the afterlife as well. And then I don't think they allowed divorce, I don't know, but if your spouse passes away and you get remarried, you can seal yourself to the new person. So you can be assured that you'll be with the new spouse in heaven, so there's no awkward conversations amongst anyone's ghosts when you arrive at heaven's gates.
You hate to see it when people get to heaven and they immediately have to have an awkward conversation.
Yeah, and Jeffrey's waiting for you, but you're there with Carl. It's like it's really awkward, So we were saying that seems to make more sense than the other way where you just hope for the best when you get to heaven, or maybe you just have two families. I don't know. But you know what?
What?
Our Mormon tour guide did not give us the full story of sealing. And so I would like to share an email that we got from a listener because I don't want people to think we were absolutely, or I was making light of it entirely. because I mostly just think religion is silly, but religion can also be very painful and harmful to people. And so I don't want people to think that we're just sort of glossing over like the worst aspects of Catholicism or Mormonism. Right. So I'm glad
we did. We
1,000% did that, because I just was kind of raised thinking religion is a joke because I have a parent who was religiously traumatized. And so it skipped me, but now I don't take it seriously at all. So sometimes I overcorrect.
Really quick, can I say seem to have a high percentage of ex-Mormon listeners, which
I know,
which I love. The ex-Mormons, best people on earth, funniest people, nicest people.
I say this literally. You are God's strongest warriors. You got out of that. God damn, like no, for real and legitimately. Shout out to you, because that must have been impossible. You know,
they're funny, they're kooky, they're creative, and they love candy.
They love candy. And, you know, I feel like they're always very crafty.
Yeah,
which
totally.
I love. So shout out to them. Anyway, so we heard from a lot of people, especially in the Discord. So sign up for the Patreon, patreon.com/textmebackpod. And you can join the Discord and talk about all the ways religion sucks. But this one was from a listener named Hannah in Phoenix, Arizona. Low-key a Mormon hotspot, by the way.
Oh,
you know,
I didn't know that.
Yes, there's two famous families. One's last name is Snow and one's last name is Flake. And there's a Snowflake, Arizona.
Stop.
And one of the Flake, I'm not kidding. The reason I know this is because one of the Flakes, Jeff Flake, became a United States Senator from Arizona. And he was this close to voting against Brett Kavanaugh. He, of course, voted yes.
Yeah.
So fuck that. But I'm just saying Snowflake is funny. Anyway, so Hannah from Phoenix writes in and she says, former Mormon here. Binding, which is what I called it, is actually called sealing. The room you toured is the sealing/celestial room. The idea is you're sealed, quote, for time and all eternity, and any children you have after that are born in the covenant and sealed to you forever, too. One detail the woman behind you in line failed to mention: men can be sealed to as many women as they want. Women can only be sealed to one man. There is no choice in that. Mormons believe in polygamy in the afterlife. The patriarchy is their favorite thing. The temples are beautiful, she says, but if you saw what they wear inside when only Mormons are in there, you'd cackle. Talk about some creepy cult behavior. I'm excited to tell you, Hannah, that I did see the little outfits that they wear in the baptismal. And so if that's what you're talking about, those are weird little outfits. Also, Hannah did not mention this, but somebody else did. For a while there, they were doing non-consensual baptisms of dead Mormons who had left the church, and they're like, just to be safe, let's dunk them.
But not just dead Mormons, they were like non-consensually like converting dead people in cemeteries, like people who were not Mormon at all.
We don't like that. And we don't support it. And that did not come up in our little jaunty tour with this lady.
Weird.
Who, by the way, then told us that she was in town for an abortion conference. And we were like, abortion conference?
Which kind?
Which kind? And then we did eventually figure out, we figured out who she was. I don't remember what her name is now, but she's very rich. Oh boy, is this lady rich. And I was like, maybe I will join just for like a year to see if we can get my student loans paid and then dip.
Can two ladies be sealed? Can a younger lady be sealed to an older mommy? Maybe.
I don't think you're allowed to say mommy in front of Mormons. I think that's immediate.
I meant
train
like
to hell.
Like a sugar mommy, not like a sexual mommy.
I don't think they like that. I don't think they like that.
I like a mentor. Wait, was it the good kind of abortion conference or the bad kind?
No, of course not. It was the bad kind. Also, I couldn't find any reference to any conference that was going on that weekend in DC. And I was like, also we gave her a ride home. It just seemed like the nice thing to do because we were out in the middle of nowhere in Maryland, and we were like, "How'd you get out here?" She's like, "Oh, I took an Uber," and we were like, "Okay." So we offered her a ride home, and now it's possible that I've been baptized in the Mormon church, and I just didn't, and I don't know. But
that was so nice because her helicopter chauffeur needed a day off real bad.
Well, there was nowhere to land it because the top of the church is so pointy.
Too pointy, yeah.
Too pointy. She couldn't possibly land on it. So sorry to the Mormons if we maybe were too loosey-goosey about it. The sealing stuff seems creepy and I don't like it. So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry that I said sugar mommy earlier. I was trying to figure out a way to make a joke about like the candy bars. You know, they can't have caffeine. Yeah. And then it just got creepier and creepier the further into it I went. And I biffed it on that one.
Yeah. You say horrible stuff like that all the time and you've never apologized. Now all of a sudden you're stressed just because you're afraid of what the LDS church is going to do to you.
I don't want you to be mad at me.
Oh, please. Like that's ever stopped you from being like, Mommy, fart mama. Ah. Come on now.
Wait, I have one more thing to say.
Yes.
Someone in the Discord was like, their parents got divorced and then their mom remarried and had more kids. And then the Mormons were like, well, sorry, these kids are sealed to her first husband anyway. Like not even to their dad.
Right. It was just, it was like the kids can be permanently sealed to a parent that is like no longer in their lives for a variety of reasons. And I can only imagine what a mindfuck that must be as a child if you think, oh God, if something happens to me, I have to be stuck with this person I barely know or who I hate or who is maybe abusive. It
wasn't even a parent, like their estranged parent. It was their mom's first husband that they'd never met. You're eternally sealed to this man, FYI, unless you get married. And then I guess you get to be the new seal.
But you might still be stuck both. Now maybe your husband's involved. Anyway.
Now you got to do heaven holidays with Jeff.
Ugh. Who has the time?
Not me.
So that's what's going on with the sealing. Now we're going to start the show for real by tiding.
I have something important I need to say.
Yes.
I think there's a little bit of a delay. And
yeah.
And so
yes, I want to speak on this as well. So I want to speak on this as well.
When you see the video of us doing our dance, it's not.
We are on the 2s and 4s, okay? We are dancing on beat. Some of us have known from birth about the 2s and 4s, okay? Some of us learned. But we're always on them, always. Yep. But there's a little bit of a delay from the media board when it exports the files. There's a little bit of a delay on the media board from what we're doing. So I would like you to know that when you watch that Luther Vandross Greyhound jingle video, when it was happening contemporaneously, it looked amazing.
Don't get the wrong idea. We are not 2 beats behind. Okay?
We are not white.
Well,
a little bit.
I are white, but
both of us are a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. I gotta do a quick mini tiding before we start the official tidings. Something really important happened in the news that is really relevant to this podcast and our lore and our culture. And it's now a little bit old news, but I can't let another episode go by without us addressing it, which is that Donald Trump told a story about how he has a big fat friend.
Speak on this, please. Speak on this.
So Donald Trump has a big fat friend who's a big fat businessman and a BBM, if you will.
Yes.
And he goes to Europe. He's taken the Ozempic, but it's not working. He's still.
Excuse me, Lindy. He's taking the fat shot drug. Like, why does he say it like that? He emphasizes that last consonant like he's going to lose it. Fat shot drug.
Donald Trump says his great big fat friend is taking the fat shot drug and it's not working. He's still huge and fat. And then he went to Europe. He found out that in Europe, the fat shot is free. But here in America,
it's only $30 or something in Europe, I guess. Yeah.
But here in America, it's $1,000 a month.
He calls up Donald Trump and he says, President. He calls me President. He used to call me Donald. Now he calls me President. President, can I ask you a question? This man says, President, can I ask you a question? And I'm done.
Yep.
I'm executed. I'm deceased. Don't say, President, can I ask you a question? It wasn't Mr. President.
No.
It wasn't President Trump. It was President, can I ask you a question? Why is Ozempic more expensive in Europe than America?
This roly-poly fat man got on his frog phone and he dialed the swamp and he said, President, can I ask you a question? How am I ever going to get skinny if my fat shot keeps being so expensive?
Seriously overweight. Seriously overweight. It's not working. The fat shot drug is not working. Also, did no one tell the fat businessman about the coupons?
I guess
you can get it for as little as $25 a month.
The rich people don't know about the coupons.
They're not being inundated at every turn by fat shot drug propaganda like I am. So now I have the coupon memorized because I can't escape. What's your real tiding? I heard you had a good weekend.
Yeah. Oh, I had a great week. My friend, knitting celebrity Jessie May, visited from Chicago, and we spent a week out here on the Hood Canal tooting around. And
literally,
I mean, we had so many adventures. I don't have time for all of them in a tidings, but I want to talk about one particular high quality NPC that we met because it's a little bit of a repeat of 2 weeks ago's episode, in that I've had another encounter with a man.
Oh.
And, by the
way. Sexual.
No. If you haven't listened to 2 weeks ago's episode, a driver who was driving me to the airport was mean to me. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know how to handle it. And the consensus, by the way, from our listeners has been that I should call
100%.
Yeah, I haven't done that.
People.
Yeah. I have not done that yet. But maybe I will. The thing is, I don't like to make a phone call. So who's really being punished? But okay. But this new guy, I lay before you the same question yet again. What should I do? I've picked her up at the airport. We're taking the Edmonds Kingston ferry back out here to my home. And
a classic of the WizDot ferry system.
I mean, arguably my favorite. I mean, downtown Bainbridge is more glamorous, but Edmonds Kingston gets the job done.
Oh, hell yeah.
So we get to Edmonds. We pull up to the toll booth and say it's like 1:35, and there was a 1:30 ferry, I think. And the ferry system is a little bit in chaos because there's no money to repair the ferries. And I just learned there aren't really facilities to repair the ferries.
Whoopsie.
no one does it. So
okay, well, that's okay.
So yeah. So the ferries are often late. They're often, a little bit unreliable these days. So you never know. I pull up to the booth and they usually have a little plastic card that says the ferry time on it, set up in the window to show you which ferry you made. Mm-hmm. The guy didn't have the little card up. So I said, hey, any chance we made the 1:30? And this was like probably in his 60s, maybe late 60s. I don't know. Kind of disheveled, a little like George R.R. Martin-esque.
Okay.
And so I said, any chance we made that ferry? And he was like, no. He was like, do you see any cars driving onto the ferry? The ferry's gone. I was like, okay, well,
relax, Sherlock Holmes. Sorry, I didn't do the deduction properly.
And I had already handed him my card, my debit card, because going through the ferry toll booth, I've done it probably 1 billion times in my life. It's a speedy process.
Yeah,
they want to get you through, get on to the next person.
Of course.
He has my card. I'm waiting for him to run it. I asked about the ferry. I'm like, okay, no problem. And then he goes, I was like, wishful thinking, I guess. Never hurts to ask. You never know. And then he goes, I was going to ask if you want a return ticket, but I'm not sure we want you back.
Ew.
And I was like,
I'm from here.
Yeah. Well, I was like, well, first of all, return ticket. I don't think they even do that. So I don't know I don't know what you're talking about, but I mean, maybe they do. But again, I've been riding the ferry for 40 years. I've never seen an option for a return. I've never thought about it. I don't know. So I was like, well, I live on the other side, so I don't need a return ticket. So, and then he goes, do you know where liars go? And I was like,
Oh my God.
and I was like, I'm not.
Hell?
Right. I was like, I'm not lying. I live over there. Why would I be lying? And he goes, do you know where liars go? And I said, hell? And he said, the White House. And
it was like a double reverse alliance. Okay.
And then I said, oh, well, I don't think they would want me at the White House. And he was
God,
like,
this is going on for so long.
he's holding my card hostage.
God.
He has not run my card or handed me a thing to sign. So I'm just like, and then he goes, you'd be surprised. I think they're hiring. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'll apply at the White House. And he was like,
be vice president.
And he was like, yeah, you should. And then I said, yeah, well, I don't think they would like my ideas very much, but I'll try. I'll apply. And then he goes, what are your ideas?
Oh, no.
And I was like,
No.
well, I have a lot of ideas. And he was like, give me one. And I said, I think we should tax billionaires and use the money to help people.
I think my platform is actually, I'm so sorry, because I've never said this about any worker, but replace ferry workers with robots so I don't have to talk to you? That's one idea I just had.
Make Lindy getting her debit card back again, America?
Moldka?
So I was like, then he's so excited that this is what I said. So he goes,
oh, Jesus.
He goes, I came from nothing. I grew up on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
And now I own 4 houses. And let me tell you from experience, the only reason why people don't become billionaires is because they've got something that I call stinking thinking.
Oh, I see.
And he was like, I'm proof. And then he goes, I don't even take a salary to work here. I just work here for fun. Like, I'm like,
what?
I believe that.
Having fun. What on earth?
I believe that you don't really work here. If that's
I believe you just walked into this toll booth and started taking people's money. I do believe that.
And then he was like, everyone says, oh, I could never be a billionaire. But all you have to do is believe that you can and don't have stinking thinking. And then anyone can do anything that they want. And I was like, well, I don't think that's right. I don't think that's correct. And then he was like, it is. And then like literally it was like 5 minutes before he gave me he just held me hostage, which by the way, again, much like the livery driver, he's not doing this to a man. It's like,
no,
he's like, oh, there's 2 women in this car. I'm going to torture them.
Yes.
Like, cause I
That's
can.
Correct.
And so then so he was like, finally give me my card back. I'm ready to go. And I was like, all right, well, have fun with your $1 billion. And then he goes, oh, I'm not a billionaire. And then as I'm pulling away, I yelled, sounds like stinking thinking.
We love a callback, don't we, folks?
I was like, oh, really? Sounds like stinking thinking. But like, it was fucking crazy. Like one of the craziest encounters I've ever had.
Can I say something? And this is not to victim blame, but here's this thing. This happens to me from time to time where I am just trying to bank a quick charisma victory and be on my merry way. And sometimes men accept that as an invitation to riff.
I know.
And that is not what I am doing here. I am just collecting my little energy points like I'm fucking little Mario, getting his little ding, invincibility star, getting my little coins. I'm not here to riff with you, Paul. No. I'm not doing that. Give me my laugh at my joke. Give me my ferry ticket and let me go.
I didn't want to riff with him at all.
Yeah, but I think you said, wishful thinking, and tried to make like a joke.
Right.
And then he was like, sensational.
Very early on. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, and even though that wasn't even a joke, but I think that he just was like, I will take you hostage. Thank you for the invitation.
Not only was it not a joke, it was me trying to diffuse him being mean to me.
Mean. Right. Yeah. I don't like it.
So obviously now WWMHMD, I think if I had to give a critique of my own performance, I think that much earlier on in the conversation, a person could say, hey, I'm not interested in this. Can you give me my card back?
Yeah. Sometimes I feel, despite my reputation, I do sometimes feel a little, I'm not always as brusque with people who are working in like a service industry, because I used to work at Urban Outfitters, and I never want anyone to feel bad, because people used to get off on making me feel bad when I worked at Urban Outfitters. So I try to be as pleasant as is humanly possible. And so I probably actually in this situation probably would have let that go on for longer than it really needed to before maybe coming up with a lie, which is like, I'm so sorry, I really need to find a bathroom to try to get my card back.
I like that.
But the hostage taking of the debit card really throws a wrinkle into any attempts to be rude.
Well, and
because once you get the card back, you can just drive off. I mean, I probably would have just driven off mid-sentence if I had the card.
Right.
But
exactly. Oh, thank you. Bye. And the other, but I will say, because I religiously, Mormonically refuse to be rude to a service worker as well. Right. However,
I am sealed to all service industry employees.
However, this man has alleged that he's not a service worker.
Apparently, he's an intern.
He's having fun. It's like that. It's like the one episode of Will and Grace I ever watched. For some reason, I've never forgotten. There's this scene where Karen, Megan Mullally, opens up a cute little box in her desk, and she shows Grace all the cute little paychecks that she's filed away because she doesn't need them.
She doesn't need them.
Grace is like, I've been paying you for 3 years. She's like, I know. Look, they're all in here. Aren't they cute? And it's
like her little mementos.
Yeah, and for some reason, what's Megan's birthday? On the fence.
I don't know.
What did Megan Mullally say in an episode of Will and Grace that I saw in 1998? That anyway. That's
the true Megan hierarchy has been revealed here today on this podcast.
Well, you can't be that surprised.
No, I'm not that surprised, and also because I'm not even my favorite Megan.
Right,
mine's Megan the Stallion,
as we know. So if you want to weigh in about how I should have handled that situation with the added, now the first guy being mean to me, he had me as a hostage, my body and all of my stuff.
Right.
This guy just had my debit card. What would you have done? Should I call WashDOT? Do you work for the fairies? This man, he's the George R.R. Martin looking guy. He was in the middle booth.
Now we're doxing this man.
Fuck him. He was so creepy and gross and hostile and weird. And for the record, this podcast does not believe that inequality is caused by stinking thinking.
No, we don't think. We think it's due to systemic stink.
Yeah, exactly.
Institutional stinking. That's what I think.
Exactly.
Institutionalism.
You know what? Stinkonomics.
There it is.
So that was my tiding.
Mine is pretty quick. I just want to share some devastating news, which is for Day Job LLC recently, I had to appear on a different podcast. Oh, I was stepping out on Text Me Back podcast.
Okay. Wow. I wish we could have talked about that. But okay.
But anyway, so I appeared on it, and it was for day job stuff. So it was like talking about the Supreme Court or whatever. And this video, it did very well. Like it did surprisingly well. And none of this was happening in my line of sight. I do these things sometimes for work, and I never think about it again. I'm just really like, hope that does well, and I move on with my life. And then the person I recorded it with was like, hey, this is kind of doing numbers. And I was like, oh, and I looked, and it was like hundreds of thousands of views. And I was like, where are these people for Text Me Back podcast? What the hell?
Did you mention Text Me Back podcast in the interview?
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, totally. Anyway,
you could always wear the shirt, the merch.
With underneath my little blazer. That could be cute.
Could be cute.
Anyways, so, and I made like a Lord of the Rings reference, which didn't go over well with the person I was talking to, or like it's not that it went over poorly. It's that he was like, I don't know what you're talking about, which is the classic, classic response. Anyways, sometimes if you do something that does well, all of a sudden you start getting a bunch of followers and you're like, I don't understand what this is from. I don't really get what this is. So I realize it's from this video. Then I go to my Instagram account and I have a bunch of new followers who I do not recognize. And I don't have any problem with that. I don't post on my own Instagram all that often anyways. But someone had gone through 8 years worth of my photos on Instagram and faved every single picture of my feet. And I said, oh, I'm sorry, you saw me talking about the Supreme Court and thought, what's the foot situation? I wonder if her dogs are barking, is what you said. And then you went through like a decade's worth of photos to find all of the pictures of my feet. By the way, there were only like 3. It just never crossed my mind. Like in 2014, 15, I'm not thinking about people looking at my feet.
Right.
Now I'm smarter. Now I'm wiser. Now I know that Wikifeet exists,
I mean, have you checked to see if you're on it?
There's no way. There's a way.
I will look.
Couldn't possibly happen.
They were like, they heard you talk about the Supreme Court and they were like, I know 9 little piggies that I'd like to see. And one to grow on.
The good news is this person alerted me to the fact that there are pictures of my feet online.
Yeah, what did you do?
I deleted them all. I personally don't have time to go through all my old photos to make sure I got them all, but I'm thinking about just... Oh no. I'm thinking about archiving my entire account now because I'm scared.
Well, it's too late, Meagan.
Oh no.
There's so many.
How did they get them all?
Who did this?
Oh
Hold on.
no.
Oh my God. They got you. Oh no. Wait. Hold on.
Oh my God, they got so many of my feet.
You have, I think, more votes than I do.
Oh my God. Oh no.
Oh, no. Who did this?
It's so many.
Why does it say that's your birthday? I do know.
What does it have? Oh, May 31st.
May 31st?
Is not my birthday. That is my brother's birthday, though, so they must have gotten it.
Oh my God. How did they do this?
Oh my God. They have an old high school photo of me
Yeah.
with my feet.
It's weird. Like, I've
my God.
Meagan, I've never seen some of these pictures.
Oh, there's a picture of a foster kitten that we had. Her name is Little Prince. We had Big Prince, Little Prince, Morris Day, and I forget what the 4th one was. Anyway.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I guess I didn't act fast enough because now my feet are online. What's my score?
Oh my God.
3.9? That's crazy.
Okay,
because they are not good looking feet.
You got a comment from the real Loverboy 1.
Ew.
On the picture of you guys at the Dave Matthews concert. He
What
said,
does it say?
It says, nice.
Ugh. I feel bad about the Dave Matthews because there's other people in that photo.
Well, I think that their feet are probably also being. Oh no, none of their feet are visible.
Oh Jesus. You think you're just putting a relaxing photo online. So listen,
Meagan.
This is bad. This is terrible.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. What I was just thinking the other day? I was just thinking about how horrible everything is, and I was like, I changed my mind. I want to go to space.
Yeah.
With Gayle. I think I'll just go on a rocket to space with Jeff Bezos' girlfriend and Gayle. They don't have feet in space.
They don't have feet. They don't have feet in space.
No one's taking feet pics up there, so that's where I'm going to go.
Okay, they seem to have changed the format here. So it doesn't have like a value judgment. It just has a number. Like it used to say
parentheses, not good feet.
Oh yeah, bad feet, okay
Yeah.
feet. And now it just has the number, and I think that's very equitable. DEI strikes again.
It's great news for me because my feet are bad. These are all pictures that I basically took right after having a pedicure.
Well, that's the time to take one, yeah.
So people don't know what I'm really working with. And that's good.
I can't believe that happened to you.
This is horrific. And I actually didn't even know until just this exact moment that had happened. So I just was doing one single hit about John Roberts being a douche. And you were like, let me start a Wikifeet page.
It's seeming to me more and more likely that the Wikifeet bandit is a Text Me Back-alite. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have never checked myself. I've never searched Megan Hatchermay's feet before, so it could have been there for a long time. It's just that I was getting a lot of attention on my feet pics on Instagram, which alerted me to the possibility that I was in danger. Danger.
No, you're right. I actually like that theory better. I was just thinking about how, like, we talked about it on the podcast, then all of a sudden 73 new photos of me were uploaded.
I know.
And like, if that person was a listener, they of course wouldn't only want to highlight my feet, but also yours. But I did say on the show, please don't ever let me become famous enough to have a Wikifeet page. And my wishes have not been respected. My boundaries have been crossed. A Text Me Back-alite would respect the boundaries, I think.
I feel like they would. Even a foot person would have the ethics. I don't know. Well, so that's my tiding. I feel bad. There's a foot situation going on over here, and it's not the kind I like. Megan, trouble's afoot over here at Text Me Back Podcast. Big time. Big time. If you have a way to delete online, give us a call, 703-829-0003, or deartextmeback@gmail.com. If you are Jeff Bezos and you know how to delete websites, I will get in one of your rockets.
Yeah. In space, no one can hear you feet.
No one can hear your feet. So that's my tiding. I'm going to go take a shower. And we'll be right back. Well, welcome back. We're going to do everyone's favorite segment. It's called I Can Fix Her. It doesn't have a theme song. No. So instead, I'm going to play this.
Crazy lady living in a bag.
All right, Lindy.
Okay.
What has fixed you this week?
So I'm trying to have less chaos in my life. And a thing that helps me with that is knowing what I'm going to eat for breakfast tomorrow. So I went to Costco and a little thing caught my eye called Carnation Instant Breakfast.
Ooh, a classic.
Carnation Instant Breakfast. You're gonna love it in an instant.
I don't remember that at all.
You don't?
I remember drinking it constantly, but I don't remember there being a theme song.
Really?
That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Look at you.
Okay. I thought that was one of our most famous theme songs. Briefly, there was an ad campaign with Holly Robinson Peete advertising.
I was just thinking about that. And I was like, I thought Carnation was a local company, but then why was Holly Robinson Peete in that commercial? Why was she doing SpawnCon with Carnation as a breakfast? Anyway, sorry, please continue.
So I tweeted, this is back in the days of Twitter, like, holy shit, Holly Robinson Peete drinks Carnation Instant Breakfast. Sound of car peeling out. And then, unfortunately, Holly Robinson Peete saw it.
Oh.
And then she wrote back, haha, funny lady. My son saw this and said, isn't that cool, Mom? And I had to explain to him what sarcasm is.
Oh.
She wasn't mad at me.
Yeah. But maybe you hurt her feelings a little bit.
I don't know. I think she probably thought it was a little bit weird that she was advertising Carnation Instant Breakfast. But anyway,
Holly, if you're listening, let us know how you felt about Lindy's tweet.
I meant it with an extreme amount of love. So I was at Costco. I see this box of Carnation Instant Breakfast. I'm reminded of Holly Robinson Peete. And I think I would like to reconnect with Carnation Instant Breakfast. I remember having it as a child. It has, one packet has a fair amount of protein. It has like 12 grams of protein or something. That'll get me going in the morning. I love milk, famously.
Yeah.
So I buy it. I take it home. I start having a Carnation Instant Breakfast in the morning. the Carnation Instant Breakfast powder is challenging to fully emulsify into the milk.
Mm-hmm.
I always have a layer, a sort of layer of lumps and bubbles on top of little sacks of powder.
Some sediment.
Bursting in my mouth, which look, I'm not going to say that I don't like it, but so then I think to myself, you know what I need? It's one of those little whizzers, one of those little, it's like a little
frother,
hand frother. Yeah. And you stick it in and it froths it. So then I go online, I'm Googling best milk frothers. And I'm like, as I said, I like milk. The possibilities are endless. What can I do with this? Milk frother. I can have lattes, whatever. Then the internet says the best milk frother is it's not the hand frother. It's like a machine from Instant Pot. It's a tiny little blender, basically. It froths milk and it heats the milk.
Oh,
so
interesting.
So you can make, it looks like a little electric kettle kind of a thing, except smaller. And it whizzes up your milk and heats it. So you can make hot chocolate that doesn't have lumps. So then I'm like, well, I guess I got to get that one. I'm having visions of lattes and so then I get that. Now, what have I done to myself? Now, instead of rinsing off a little handheld whizzer, I have a large machine that I have to wash, like take apart and wash, purely for the purpose of stirring my Carnation Instant Breakfast. Which isn't even a hot drink. It's a cold drink.
No.
So I've created new jobs for myself.
Yes.
Now, but then I like to think on the bright side.
Yeah.
And I think I do love a hot chocolate. I would love a hot chocolate that didn't have lumps. I do love a little frothy milk latte thingy. So what I'm trying to say is that I ended up getting a product that is not optimized for the Carnation Instant Breakfast.
No. So now you have to buy more items to work with the item.
So I don't regret the item because I am going to use it to make frothy milk drinks. But I am also like, now I still kind of want to get the frother, the hand frother.
This is what we have here is a classic I can fixer mix them up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where you buy something and it does fix you, but not in the right way. So you have to purchase more items to complete that fixing. Yeah. Meanwhile, the original product still needs to be purchased so that you can be fixed in the correct way. Yeah. So you're still fixed.
Yeah.
Permanently.
For sure.
But it's just, there's a couple of extra steps you have to take to get the full effect.
Just a couple.
That's a classic. Yeah. I can fix her.
I haven't used it yet, but I can tell that as soon as I do, it's going to fix the first cup of cocoa. I'm going to be fixed.
Oh, for sure. I can tell already.
I have some milk. I bought some milk. It's downstairs.
Nice.
And I have some cocoa mix. So maybe right after this, I will go do an experiment and I'll post a picture on the Instagram. So
great. Let us know.
Yeah. But I'm fixed. I'm fixed.
Good breakfast. I can fix her.
Thanks. What's your breakfast I can fix her, Meagan?
Well, you and I both kind of fell out of love with coffee a little bit. Mm-hmm. Although for some reason I've been back into iced coffee. It's something about hot coffee that just isn't hitting for me. I don't know why that is, but iced coffee is okay to me. Yeah. And here's another weird problem I'm having. I like to put half and half in my coffee, but I don't really like sweetener. It tastes tastes yucky to me, like artificial, not very good. Yeah. Even simple syrup, I don't really like it. And I don't mind it in iced coffee, but in hot, there's something about sweetened hot coffee. I don't know. It's just not right.
I'm with you. I never put sugar in my coffee.
I will get
an iced vanilla or something.
Meanwhile, I just bought exactly. If it's frothed, now we're cooking. Meanwhile, I just bought this $300 coffee maker and I don't use it at all. I mean, Adam drinks coffee every day, but I'm I have a good one. Enjoy. You like it? She's yours.
So beautiful.
It's so beautiful. That's why I got it. Because it has to be out on my counter. So I was like, it better be cute. Anyways, so I've been getting this store-bought cold brew, slightly sweetened, nothing too crazy. And that is nice. And I've just been mixing it with my little half and half. One thing that I find exceptionally disgusting is flavored creamer, your Coffee Mates and your International Delights, hazelnut, vanilla. It just makes your mouth taste like you ate the hard candy from the dentist. Like it's not, you ate like sugar-free candies. It's nasty.
Yeah.
And it just ruins the whole vibe. So I never got it. But then I discovered, you know what they have? They have a spray foam, you guys. International Delight makes something called cold foam, and you take it and you shake it up. It looks like a whipped cream can, and you spray it on the top of your iced coffee, and then it cascades down. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Cascades all through your coffee, and it's delicious. It does not have that gross flavor that the vanilla and the hazelnut and the fucking pumpkin spice, whatever. It doesn't have that weird, nasty, artificial flavor. The kind I got is just called sweet and creamy.
Ooh.
Just like me, baby. Just like me. And I've been, and you and I talked about this before, and you're right. When you spray it, you think it's going to come out like whipped cream, but it just sort of goes.
It's a dribble.
Yeah. It's amazing. And it goes right into your coffee, and she sinks all the way down.
It's a flaccid worm.
Oh. Then you take a little sippy, and you get a little foam mustache. And then as you're drinking it, it just like sort of gets mixed in. Then I got crazy and I put it on a hot coffee.
Okay.
And it was not bad. I was like, okay. I mean, it's still, by the time I got to the bottom of the coffee, I was like, this is an abomination.
Right.
But while it was happening, like halfway through, I was like, I'm not mad at this at all. So I just like to say, and by the way, this is not sponsored. International Delight has paid $0 for me to tell you this. But the sweet and creamy on a little iced cafe, that gets the MHM stamp of approval. My life is fixed.
Yep.
No weapon formed against me will prosper.
Not in the mornings.
Not in the morning times. Not I can fix her colon breakfast.
And because this podcast is about equality, I would like to give a little bit of a defense of the little tubs of flavored International Delight at the gas station. Because if I get a gas station coffee, here's what I like to do. No, I'm not milking it up with, 5 tubs of International Delight hazelnut. I'm not touching pumpkin spice. I'm not touching maple creme brulee or whatever.
Creme brulee. Ugh.
But if it's but I will take 1 hazelnut or 1 vanilla, dump it in there, and then I'll do 5 just plain half and halves.
Yeah.
Just a little hint.
Yeah.
And I like that. It's okay for people to like different stuff.
I've been known to do maybe just a little bit of the flavored creamer and mostly half and half, just to get a little punch. Nothing too crazy. But these people are out here with fucking wedding cake flavor, Reese's peanut butter cup. Get a Reese's peanut butter cup.
And a coffee. That's a great thing to have with your coffee.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. Anyways, so that's my I can fix her. I am fixed. We're both fixed. You're out here frothing carnation instant breakfasts. Yeah. I'm out here cold foaming.
And you know what? Want to hear something really sad? I haven't had coffee in a week. I stopped having coffee just by instinct. Like my body was like, no thanks. I mean, it's been saying that, but I finally began to obey about a week ago. And I feel good. I feel better.
I hate it.
And I hate it. And I don't know if it's the milk, but I have been having ice cream. And I feel like the ice cream would have made me, if it's the dairy, then
truly nothing I hate more than when the Instagram fitness influencers are right about something. You're like, wake up, have 8 ounces of water and go for a walk.
Oh,
let me tell you something. Nothing has made me feel better in my life than doing that little routine.
I know.
I hate it.
Really quick, I know we have to go, but Lindy's rebuilding year still going on. I started a new series yesterday called Go for a Walk Every Day Until My Back Doesn't Hurt Anymore.
Yes.
So I'm going to do that after this. Yesterday's walk, day 1, back hurt really bad.
Ooh, so, not good. No.
Yeah. Today, who can say? I'll report.
We'll find out
next week. Yeah. Or feel free to follow along on my Instagram.
And with that, we're gonna go now. After this, coming up. Bye. Well, Lindy,
Well, Megan,
what a ride.
I liked today's episode. I don't remember a thing we talked about.
No, every week. So we record these on Thursdays, and then whatever we record on Thursday comes out the following Thursday. By next Thursday, I won't have a single recollection of what occurred here today.
No.
I won't know at all.
No, I had to do the Instagram carousel today. It was challenging to dredge up what the hell. Even reading the show notes. I would read the show notes and then immediately it would vanish. And then I would have to look back again and be like, oh, yeah. Blues Clues.
When I do the carousel, I read the entire transcript because otherwise,
yeah.
And I usually have two screens. I'm usually reading the transcript on my phone and looking for pictures on my computer because otherwise I'm not. Those beautiful Instagram carousels would never come together if it wasn't for my 8,000 screens. Anyways, we have a couple of quick announcements before we go. First of all, as we mentioned last week, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, I don't know. I don't remember.
Pre-taped call-in show.
Pre-taped call-in show. But the YouTube is back, baby. Full-length videos back on the YouTube. And our username is very weird because they wouldn't let me just name it Dear Text Me Back. So or Text Me Back Pod. It's youtube.com/text Lindy and Meagan back. Or alternatively, you could just go to the link in our bio. But if you like the full videos, exciting news, they're back. And you want to know why we were able to do it or how? Your beautiful Patreon subscriptions. Patreon.com/text me back pod. Shout out to you. Now we can afford to pay someone to do it because I'm a baby. So
it's really you can see the magic in action. It is a direct one-to-one cause and effect. Our beautiful community supporting the Patreon, and then us being able to build more fun things for our beautiful community. You know,
the more support we get, the more podcasts we can do. And doesn't that sound nice? Does to me.
Does to me.
And maybe you're feeling like, hey, life's hard. I can't support the Patreon. Well, there are free things you can do, which leads me to my next announcement. Here are a couple free things before I tell you what it is. 1, tell your friends to listen to Text Me Back Podcast, the only podcast. It's a great show. Number 2, leave us a review, an accolade, if you will, wherever you listen to your podcast. That helps. People will be like, oh my God, what's this 1,000,000 5-star reviewed podcast about best friends? I have to listen immediately. So those are 2 free things you can do. Here's the 3rd free thing you can do. Sign up for our newsletter, dude.
What?
That's right. We're launching a newsletter. Lindy and I are going around to all of the dying media areas, and we're signing up. We said podcast, check. Newsletter, hell yeah. Up next, we're going to buy a paper newspaper.
Yep.
In Northern California. Then we're going to make a prestige drama, baby.
Megan, I've invested in a fleet of fine ponies, and they'll be sending out our paper newspaper express
throughout Detroit. Nothing's going on there, transportation-wise, right? Anyway, so that's what's going on. Lindy, would you like to tell the people what it's called? I actually am not sure if we've landed on a name. Whatever you say, we have to stick with, so make it good.
Oh, Megan, I'm scared.
No, say it. I think we decided on Monday.
It's called Newsletter Me Back. Is that what we picked?
Yeah, the other option was Text Me Back Podcast :newsletter. But we're going with Newsletter Me Back, which is going to be on what platform? Substack?
I think Substack, yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be on Substack. We're going to link to it in the show notes. We're going to talk about it on our Instagram. We're going to tell all of the patrons about it. And here's the best part. It is $0. It's free to everyone.
Yeah.
So you should just sign up and we'll just get little jokes that we didn't put in the show. It might be a little bit more topical or timely because, we record the show in advance. So you guys have been dealing with the fat shot drug for probably 2 weeks at this point. For us, that was only 4 days ago.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there might be some more politicsy, newsy items in there. We might put a few videos in there for you. And it is free.
Yep.
$0. All you got to do is sign up, and we'll make sure you get the link so you can sign up for Newsletter Me Back, the famous newsletter.
Because, as we just mentioned, Megan and I barely know what's going on while we're recording.
That's right.
We often forget very important things because there's nothing up here.
That's right.
In the dome. The dome is a shell. So the newsletter is an opportunity for us to say, oh my God, we forgot to talk about that on the podcast.
Yeah.
Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, beep. Send it out to the people.
Instead of being like, okay, 2 weeks ago we talked about this, we just got an email about it. So instead of doing that, or we might, we're for sure going to continue to do that. But the newsletter will just be a little stopgap in between episodes. We hope you like it. And it will be written primarily by New York Times bestselling author and People's Princess, Lindy West. Ever heard of her?
That's me.
Ever heard of her?
I'm going to clickety-clack it out. And if you're a button subscriber, Megan and I are still also doing our other newsletters.
Oh yeah, I have another newsletter that I really need to update. Oh dear. I'm on it. It's called Swamp Person. Enjoy.
We're doing every newsletter in the game. We're podcasting, we're broadcasting, we're newslettering, and we're hugging and we're kissing.
We're coal mining. That's another industry that we have good feeling about.
Yeah, I love to do that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love to do that.
I love to do that.
So, yeah, sign up. Details in the show notes. Newsletter Me Back. It's going to be fun.
It is going to be fun. TBD, what all sorts of delights are going to be going on in there. But if you like the show, you're going to love the newsletter, obviously. Okay, that good enough for you? Bye.
Bye, we love you. Thank you so much for listening to Text Me Back. If you like the show, please tell your best friend about us. Be sure to rate and review us. It helps people find the show. And most importantly, please support our Patreon so we can keep making this. It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Text Me Back is a production of Megan and Lindy, proud members of the BFF Network. Our senior producer is Megan Hatcher-Mays. Our other senior producer is me. Our show is supported by Copilot Collective and produced by Allie Slice. Our digital strategist is Chance Nichols.
Diana Bowen is our video and creative wizard. Our production team includes Lindy West, Megan Hatcher-Mays, our loves, our anxieties, and our fears.
Our music is by Chief Ahamefule J. Oluo.
Special thanks to our perfect angels, Jeannie Yandel, Brandy Fullwood, and Isolde Raftery.
I'm Lindy West.
And I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays. See you next week. Mwah!